Hey guys, thank you for taking time out of your day to view my application. I really appreciate the opportunity that you guys are giving me. Without further ado, let's get on to the question, shall we? So, why do I think I'm suitable for the role? I would say that a large contributing factor to that would be the fact that throughout my whole university career, it has been pretty much dedicated to creating content and then also dedicated towards post-production as well. I do numerous different things with regards to my university, so stuff like working with Premiere Pro, working with After Effects, even working with Audition, in order to make a variety of different content and then obviously editing them afterwards. I would say that a large reason why this position does seem very suitable to my interests would be that the fact that throughout most of the university as well, it was dedicated to creating 2 short films. Those 2 short films were obviously filmed by myself with large Sony FS7 cameras, so big 4K cameras. As well as that, obviously a lot of my time would be dedicated towards post-production as well. Obviously that fitting in with you guys as well. A large reason why I do think I might be suitable for the position as well is the fact that whilst I was at uni, out of the whole of my university, I was chosen to go up to London for a couple of days. That was a great learning experience for me because it gave me really good hands-on experience in the field. So whilst I was there, I stayed up there for about 2 to 3 days. Whilst I was there, we were filming with, again, large FS7 cameras as well as smaller DSLR cameras, so kind of more of a different variables of like different technology as well that we used whilst we were up there. So filming was a major part, as well as interviewing random people who were at the conference as well, asking their opinions on it, getting different ideas bounced around as well from those guys. As well, whilst we were up there, obviously most of the time whilst we were there was dedicated to editing as well. So once the conference was all done and dusted, spent pretty much the whole day just straight up editing throughout that, which was fun. I really enjoyed it. I do think that that is my calling, and I do think that that is something that I do pride myself that I am good at. Also, a large part of the fact that I do think I'm relatively suitable is that I do see myself as quite as a creative individual as well. I do pride myself on the fact that I have created such different forms of media over the past 5 years that I have been in the industry. Before university, I did a couple of weeks with a small group called Linny's Media Group. So whilst I was there, I was also a photographer and editor. So I had hands-on experience with working with that sort of industry as well. Why do I want the job? Personally, I do feel like I do want to get myself out there and get myself known as being a creative person. I like doing what I'm good at, however, a large part of it is pushing myself out of my comfort zone. A large part of the reason why I did want to go to university in the first place to study media was the fact that whilst I was there, I'd know for a fact that I would have to push myself out of my comfort zone. I was quite shy to begin with, however, I do feel like now pushing myself to doing other things such as this, it is helping quite a lot. As well, I do feel like I get great enjoyment out of actually helping other people. I know a large part of the industry isn't just necessarily dedicated to one person being given one job and then sticking to that one job themselves. Obviously people have multiple different projects being bounced around at once, which is what I'm used to. However, a large part of why I enjoy the industry is the fact that we get to bounce ideas off of each other. So whereas I might not particularly see one idea, another member of staff might see that idea and be like, oh, okay, well, pop that idea towards that. The same goes for myself. If another member of staff is struggling, or if they're running a bit short of ideas, just brainstorming ideas and just kind of like sharing like one big collective project is probably best. I do feel like that is a large part of why I do enjoy such an industry. Just being able to put yourself out there and just be a creative person and then helping others as well, it's ideal. Favourite films? I do have to cheat a little bit. I thought for quite a while about this. However, I couldn't pinpoint one. However, I could probably suggest a series. Edgar Wright's The Cornetto Trilogy would probably be my favourite 3 films. They do kind of link into one regardless, so if anything it does kind of count as one film. Main part I like about it is the way that it's shot. The way that Edgar Wright manages to portray himself in all of his films. He puts his own little twist on each and every one of his films, so even like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and even Baby Driver, which came out recently. It's all got that little bit of personality which Edgar Wright's popped in it. He sprinkled it around a little bit. However, with them all being completely separate entities, it's difficult to pinpoint which of the 3 films would be my favourite. I would say The World's End, however I do love the fact that whilst they are all completely separate films, they all feel very familiar. Just with the way that they're shot, the visual comedy that is littered throughout all of it, the jokes, the little references within them, how the fact that whilst Shaun of the Dead, for example, wasn't necessarily a zombie film, but more a romance comedy, but with zombies. It's always adding that little bit of character to all of the films. Same goes for Hot Fuzz. I mean, it was more of a case of, it was a film about friendship, a film about going out and just being somewhere that you're not necessarily familiar with, but it's also a spoof of American police show. World's End was quite different for me. I do feel like with that one it is more of a personal story. I do think like, well, with The World's End it would kind of link into stories that my dad used to tell me about his experiences at university. I'd watched the film prior to starting university, so obviously that did plant a little seed in my mind about what to expect from university. But I do feel like what does make a film truly amazing is the fact that not only has to be enjoyable, but it also stays with you long after you've watched the film, and that's probably why The World's End did stick with me for that one. Yeah. So thank you for taking the time to view my application. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. See you later.